breaking point. It is a conflict defined by power, pride, and a dangerous pattern of escalation. It starts in 1999 when Hugo Chavez sweeps to power. He rewrites Venezuela's political order, turning Washington from partner to target. Then in 2002, a failed coup topples Chavez for 48 hours. Caracas blames the US, a charge denied, but the distrust becomes permanent. Maduro takes the reins in 2013 as protest, shortages, and economic freefall grip the nation. Washington hits back with sanctions, cuts financing, and ultimately recognizes opposition leader Juan Guaido in 2019, freezing relations to Arctic levels. Disputed elections in 2018 and 2024 keep Maduro in power. Millions flee, hyperinflation explodes, and Washington brands Caracas a corrupt criminal state. Then 2025 sets the fuse alight. Trump revokes protection for Venezuelans in the US, slaps tariffs, doubles a bounty on Maduro. He even labels the so-called Cartel de los Soles a terrorist network without presenting public proof. September brings lethal US maritime strikes. At least 83 killed on alleged drug boats. Legal experts call them extrajudicial. The White House calls them necessary. By November, an aircraft carrier, destroyers, bombers, and thousands of troops swarm the Caribbean. Trump warns of land strikes very soon. 26 years in, 2 presidents down, and one spiraling standoff later, Washington and Caracas now sit on the edge of a conflict neither side claims to want. But both sides seem ready to fight.
Now viewers, if you take off your blinkers, you realize that this is the largest troop build-up by the US since its invasion of Panama in 1989. And the Trump administration will not back down because it's for 2 reasons. This is about drugs and this is about immigration. Both campaign promises for Donald Trump. It may be sketchy on the details, but the plan for Donald Trump is clear, that Maduro needs to leave. He's already doubled the kind of bounty on the Venezuelan leader's head. And for that, Venezuela needs to decide how soon it's going to make way for another leader. Whether or not there's actually going to be stopping of those drug lines is anybody's question, because most of them come from the Pacific, not the Caribbean. Whether it will actually lead to ending illegal immigration, again, anybody's guess. 8 million Venezuelans have fled the country in 11 years. Only about 20% have actually come to the US. But this may also be about installing a pro-Washington, pro-Trump president in Venezuela, which is why this has only just begun. Turning attention now to how things are unfolding and unraveling in Thailand versus Cambodia. We trace how fiery rhetoric and rising tensions on borders can ignite a conflict, one where we have helped you track all the escalating disputes, international interventions. And today we explore how the fragile truce between Thailand and Cambodia is fraying, and more importantly, what it means for peace in the entire Southeast Asia region. Donald Trump may have claimed that he got about peace in the region. That isn't the truth anymore, because Thailand has already said that they don't want to follow that peace pact anymore. We take you through the latest developments, the historical clashes, why these 2 countries are continuing to dispute that 800-kilometer long border, and more importantly, what's at stake for the region. But first up, let me walk you through this report that details the latest provocations and escalations that have led to a situation and a possible brink once again.
Thailand and Cambodia stand on shaking ground after mine ban talks in Geneva cracked open old wounds with new bite. Both sides accuse the other of playing legal hardball, even as their fragile ceasefire creaks under pressure. The tension is rooted in July's firestorm. It was the worst violence in 10 years. It erupted near the Tha Mueang Thom temple complex, a sacred centuries-old site perched on the border. One like a stone witness to every feud. Within days, fighting spread to 12 locations. There were artillery, rockets, Thai airstrikes, and civilians running for their lives. At least 38 dead, 300,000 displaced. A landmine blast a day earlier injured 5 Thai soldiers, triggering accusations of new Cambodian mines. It's a claim Phnom Penh denies. Ambassadors were recalled as tempers soared. Then came the political drama. The leaked call between Thai PM Paetongtarn Shinawatra and Cambodia's Hun Sen. The leak upended Bangkok's leadership and torched the last threads of trust between the Shinawatra and Hun dynasty. But these tensions echo back centuries, from the Khmer Empire's reach to Siamese conquest to French-drawn borders that left temples like Preah Vihear and Tha Mueang Thom trapped in territorial limbo. The ICJ clarified ownership, but the land around the temples remains a powder keg. ASEAN finally brokered a ceasefire on July 28th. But the world has witnessed many times firsthand that peace built on contested stone can crumble fast. It usually does. And with rhetoric flaring again this week, the question returns: how long before history repeats itself at these temples once more?
Now, as you just saw, this dispute between Thailand and Cambodia is about trust. It's about history. It's about adherence to international law, not just about territory. And as landmines continue to threaten lives and diplomacy plays out on the world stage, both countries face choices that could either de-escalate or reignite this entire region. Let's take a look at the historical contexts that have actually led to this situation and why this is not going to end anytime soon. First and foremost, this is something that goes way back to 1950s when both sides have actually saw the initial border disputes that started becoming important. You move to the 1980s where you see that there were periodic skirmishes that flared up, nothing that led to massive loss of lives, but nevertheless there were skirmishes on both sides. By 1999, some peace accords were being signed, but were they actually followed? Were they adhered? That's the question. Because this year, in July 2025, clashes erupted, which were probably the worst and the bloodiest that the two countries have seen in decades. Dozens were killed and thousands were actually displaced. Malaysia had mediated a ceasefire. Donald Trump took credit for it. He also got nominated for a peace prize. It almost seems like a tune that you sing every time that there is a peace project that is coming up. Donald Trump gets a Nobel Peace Prize recommendation. But guess what? That peace project has fallen apart. That agreement hardly stands true because by December 2025, those tensions have flared up once again. Which brings us to our blinkers off section, viewers, which is that it's far easy to announce a peace agreement and far tougher to implement it, and even more difficult to ensure it passes the test of time, history and different versions of maps. As far as this issue between Thailand and Cambodia is concerned, there are two that are stopping a long-term peace to actually come in place. First and foremost, Cambodia was a French colony and this was a French map that Thais do not recognize at all. If one side doesn't recognize the border, then chances are that that will never lead to any long-term peace. Second, Cambodians have used these landmines as a tried and tested process for all military, war and all other such escalations. Something that violates international law, but that hasn't stopped Cambodia either, which means both sides are willing to jettison international law at the first instance possible. Donald Trump needs to do better than just claim peace agreements for the sake of a Nobel Peace Prize. On that note, slipping into a short break, we come back on the other side, talk more about that big piece of military arsenal that India wants to procure more of, and why is that a game changer. Stay with us.
The front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks.
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area.
North Ukraine. In France, in Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
I just feel very privileged in the film industry, an industry that I'm extremely proud of.
I'm honored to receive this prestigious award.
I feel overwhelmed that the NDTV has chosen me for this very special award.
Thank you so very much. This means a lot to me.
It's a great honor and a great privilege.
Really blessed to get this, and I'm really happy.
This is one of the few moments I'm going to be humble, so please record this properly, guys.
आज का दिन सबसे पहले जो फुट सोल्जर्स, जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स और जो टीम है उनको सेलिब्रेट करने का है.
And the NDTV Indian of the Year Award 2025 goes to
NDTV Indian of the Year 2025, 19 December, New Delhi. Ideas, inspiration, impact.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app, and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Dicot.
And finally, viewers, India's eyes in the sky are due to get even more sharper. Fresh off the success of Operation Sindoor, New Delhi is now doubling down on the Israeli drones, which are Heron Mark II. Israel is soaring to the top of a mega drone deal. Fasten your seat belts. This next report has altitude, attitude, and strategic latitude all mixed.
When Operation Sindoor unraveled Pakistani defences with precision, one silent sentinel kept watch up above, the Heron Mk2. A drone so persistent, it can stay awake longer than the night itself, 45 hours in the air, over 1,000 kilometers without a sip of fuel. After the operation's success, all three services have rushed in through emergency procurement windows, signing on for more satellite-linked Heron Mk2s. No red tape, no waiting game. You see, apart from flying high, this UAV also flies smart. On the 7th of May, one Heron Mk2 slipped past the border. It captured missile strikes deep behind enemy lines and returned with proof etched in pixels. A covert witness to an undeniable chain of events. But the story does not end here. India is now in the market for 87 Mali drones. It's a 20,000 crore tri-service powerhouse project. And once again, Israeli firms are powering the flight. In fact, Indian giants like Hindustan Aeronautics are already working with Israel Aerospace Industries. As the saying goes, the sky's the limit. But on modern battlefield, India's drones are proving even that's just a milestone. With the Heron Mk2 leading the flock and a mega Mali deal on the runway, New Delhi's unmanned arsenal is ready to spread its wings wider than ever.
To talk more on this, Lieutenant General Sanjay Verma joins me to talk more about how this purchase is going to be so significant. General Verma is former DG Weapons and Equipment of the Indian Army. So help us understand the significance of these drones and why they are going to be a big game changer for Indian Army.
Good afternoon, Gauri, and all the viewers. I think this is a very phenomenal acquisition or procurement which will fructify in the time to come, because this is a potent platform. In today's environment, in today's warfare, gathering of intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition is the most critical thing which goes to declare who is the winner. Like we talk about the OODA loop, till the time that the entire information does not come in, how do I take a decision? And with the multiple sources of information which is coming, this sort of a platform up in the sky, which is going to give me an endurance of almost 48 hours at an altitude of 35,000 feet, this is exactly what the Defense Forces require.
Okay.
And one interesting thing in this is that while Navy is also going for it, it will help us in interoperability between the Army, Navy and Air Force. So this is going to give actually a potent force for the Defense Forces to gather information and be in a position to respond.
In terms of specifics, this was something that was a big differentiator during Operation Sindoor as well, and also provided us great lessons in terms of our future and forward-looking plan for defense readiness. What, according to you, are those top 2 or 3 things?
This is one of the most important things. With the type of borders we have, with the type of coastlines, almost 15,000 kilometers and 7,000 kilometers, we need to have a 24/7 watch. How is it possible? We cannot have any areas which are not covered. So this sort of a platform with technologies which you are talking about I will name artificial intelligence, where the decision making, data analysis, and giving a credible input to the soldier on ground, which target to engage, with what weapon to engage, and how to engage. This will speed up the entire operations. And one important thing I should mention out here, that this is a tried and tested platform. And the best thing is, in fact, there is a joint venture with Elcom Systems where the entire MRO is being looked after. It's a very well established system. And I look at a lot of transfer of technology happening, because my information says that almost 65% of ownership is of AI and 35 is of Elcom. So naturally, it's a joint venture, tried, tested, well evaluated, and it will be maintained, repaired, and overhauled in our own country. And it will also give more avenues for better models to be evolved here.
All right. Finally, General Verma, I want to ask you this, that beyond this, beyond these very important drones, what would you want to be that one next addition that is going to be equally important?
Okay. So, like the intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, safeguarded, next focus area of mine, if you ask me, should be precision-guided munitions. We are looking at in large numbers, may also call it loitering munitions, but precision is the word. Precision guided, based on the input I have got from my eyes in the sky, I should be able to neutralize all sorts of threats which are looming ahead.
We leave it there. Thanks so much for speaking to me on Fault Lines. Well, the blinkers off segment in the show, well, viewers, the fact is that Operation Sindoor has been an inflection point for India to realize that when it talks about military readiness for the future, which are its equipment, which are its areas that it needs to double down on. S-400 being one and these Israeli drones being the other. It also gave the opportunity for India to have a big picture view about what is its larger military readiness, which is why this purchase and the ones possibly for about S-400 and S-500 are going to be so important for India. Remember, Operation Sindoor is still on, which is why military readiness has to be 110 on 100 always. All right, viewers, with that, we wrap things up on this edition of Fault Lines. Thanks so much for watching.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindoor.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area.
North Ukraine.
In France, in Italy.
At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
The best app to use is the NDTV app.
दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है।
मैं आपका बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs.
All set to visit
Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
I just feel very privileged in the film industry, an industry that I'm extremely proud of.
I am honored to receive this prestigious award.
I feel overwhelmed that the NDTV has chosen me for this very special award.
Thank you so very much. This means a lot to me.
It's a great honor and a great privilege.
Really blessed to get this, and I'm really happy.
This is one of the few moments I'm going to be humble, so please record this properly, guys.
आज का दिन सबसे पहले जो फुट सोल्डर्स, जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स और जो टीम है उनको सेलिब्रेट करने का है.
And the NDTV Indian of the Year Award 2025 goes to
NDTV Indian of the Year 2025, 19 December, New Delhi. Ideas, inspiration, impact.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app, and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes.
Hello and welcome to Sreed Korsani and you're watching The Breakfast Show. We've got an action-packed bulletin lined up just for you, but let's first take you through the headlines of the hour. Indigo crisis, centre vows strict action, the roster norms temporarily paused for Indigo. Meanwhile, the aviation minister hits out at Indigo saying that other airlines complied with the norms. Politics heats up over Putin dinner. Meanwhile, Shashi Tharoor attends the Putin dinner and LOP Rahul Gandhi was not invited. Parliament set for a Vande Mataram discussion on the 8th of December. The PM to lead Vande Mataram discussion in the Lok Sabha. Meanwhile, the Home Minister Amit Shah will lead the discussions in the Rajya Sabha. National Herald case, DKS and brother in trouble. Important to understand that the Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing has issued a notice to Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister DK Shiv Kumar, asking him to provide financial and transactional details. Politics over Tamil Nadu, Deepam Rao, Stalin and his allies in defy mode. Meanwhile, BJP launches the anti-Hindu remark at the DMK. X gets $140 million EU fine for breaching content rules. The US accuses the European Union of attack on American people. Meanwhile, Elon Musk calls the European Union's $140 million fine on X insane. Well, there's breaking news coming in at this hour. Now, important to understand that Congress leader Sonia Gandhi has slammed the BJP over Nehru. Important to understand that Sonia Gandhi has slammed the BJP, saying that the BJP's main goal is to erase Nehru's legacy. Important information we're tracking at this hour. Sonia Gandhi has hit out at the BJP, saying that there is a bid to erase Nehru, which will weaken the nation. She's further hit out at the ruling government, saying that the government is trying to vilify Nehru and that the government's assault on Nehru must end. Important information we're tracking at this hour is there seems to be a war of words between the Congress and the BJP with regards to Jawaharlal Nehru. Remember that Sonia Gandhi has hit out at the BJP, saying that the BJP's main goal is to erase Nehru's legacy. Meanwhile, we have some reactions coming in on this. Listen in.
While we welcome ongoing analysis of his contributions, what is not acceptable is the systematic attempt being made to denigrate, distort, demean, and defame him. The sole objective of this is to not only diminish him as a personality, his universally recognized role in India's independence struggle, and his early decades as a leader of an independent nation challenged by unprecedented problems. But it is also to demolish his multifaceted legacy in a crude and self-serving attempt to rewrite history.
Well, on this, you have Mr. Tom Vidakan of the BJP joining us on the phone line. Sir, firstly, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. Now, we wish to understand from you, these are some important comments coming in from the Congress in which, Sonia Gandhi has hit out at your party saying that, the BJP's main goal is to try to erase Nehru's legacy. Now, what are your initial thoughts on this?
It's time that she stops crying wolf all the time. If she had great respect for Nehru, she would have added the surname of Nehru in the family line. They are the people who have underestimated the contribution of Nehru. It is not the Bharatiya Janata Party or the current dispensation that is indulging in it. There are parts of history which was tried to cover some of the mistakes made at times. Human beings make mistakes. So that has been highlighted earlier. There was an attempt to cover all that up. So when that reality comes into public domain, it has nothing to do with the dispensation. It is something to do with historical reality. Now, I think instead of preaching much, they must practice what they preach, and the Nehru surname should be added to the family line. And if they feel there's some hindrance that they prefer the Gandhi surname, then there is a problem somewhere. And I think it is on that line they should think that they have shown disrespect to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru.
Right, absolutely, sir. I also wish to understand from you, perhaps, Sonia Gandhi's comments, they come perhaps in light of recent events where, we also heard the defense minister talk about the Babri Masjid and say that it was Jawaharlal Nehru who wanted to rebuild the Babri Masjid using public funds. Now, sir, this is also an allegation that's been strongly rebutted by the Congress. What is your take on this?
Well, facts don't change, it's not just an allegation. If there is proof, if there is historical evidence, we support whatever evidence there is available in public domain. But you can't whitewash history. These are things carved in stone, and you will have to throw the stone and the carving out to deny what has happened in history. So let us face facts. If there is an issue, there was a Jeep scandal, there was the defeat with China and the decisions that were taken at that juncture, and the whole business of partition, and what happened, how many people lost their lives. And all these decisions, when it historically is examined by researchers, these things do come out. And I think it's time to face reality. But they should begin with using Nehru's name in their surname.
Right, so I think I get your point there. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us. Meanwhile, we also have a reaction coming in from the Congress. You have Mr. Sandeep Dixit, who's also, in fact, shared his thoughts on the incident. Listen into what he had to say.
जिस तरह नेहरू जी पे हमला होता है, जब आप देखो अभी 2-3 दिन पहले भी हुआ, पिछले साल 10 साल में शायद अपने बारे में कम या और चीजों के बारे में कम, नेहरू जी के बारे में जितना इस सरकार ने, प्रधानमंत्री ने बार बार बोला है, जैसे पुरुषोत्तम जी ने कहा, ऐसा लगता कोई भूत चढ़ा हुआ है नेहरू जी का उन पे। तो चलिए, आप किसी के बारे में आलोचना करना चाहते हैं, आपका अधिकार है, लेकिन बिल्कुल असत्य बोलें, कुतर्क बोलें, विषैले तरीके से बोलें, गलत बात बोलें, तो हम लोग जो ये कोई नहीं कहूँगा कि हम सिर्फ 100% नेहरू जी को मानते हैं या किसी और को मानते हैं, लेकिन उनका योगदान समझते हैं। उनका बनाया हुआ भारत जो है वो भारत है जिसमें हम रहना चाहते हैं। तो हम लोग भी अपना योगदान देना चाहते हैं कि सत्य असत्य के खिलाफ हम लोग सत्य के साथ और तथ्यों के साथ खड़े दिखें।
Well, on this, you have my colleague Prashant joining us on the broadcast. And Prashant, there clearly seems to be a war of words regarding Jawaharlal Nehru. And, this perhaps is not the first time that such a controversy is erupting. Previously as well, and even in the parliament, we've seen that several leaders have in fact used Nehru's name, and there has been a political war of words on that. Now, what exactly is the latest that you're getting us on this story?
Well, that's right. There's nothing new. You've heard both the coined both the Congress party and the BJP. BJP's allegation has been that Congress party tries to, give credit of everything to the Nehru-Gandhi family, be it the freedom struggle or the development post independence in India. So the Congress, this is what the BJP alleges, that Congress tries to give the credit of everything that happened in India, either pre-independence or post-independence, just to one family, and that should not be done. This is what the BJP has been alleging for the last many years. And Congress, you heard Sonia Gandhi, it has been a matter of discussion as to what really about the contribution of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to the freedom struggle and as the first Prime Minister India to the development of the country. So this has been a matter of discussion. Political parties and experts try to interpret historical facts in their own way, and that is why these war of words over the contribution of Nehru, they have been going on for the last many years, and probably they will go on for many more years to come.
Absolutely, Prashant. In fact, continue to be with us on the broadcast as we track more breaking news coming in at this hour. Well, there's more breaking news coming in at this hour. The BJP has slammed the Congress on the Mahaparinivaran Divas. Important to understand that the BJP has accused the Congress of Ambedkar Virodhi mindset. The BJP has said in our quote that Nehru to Rahul sidelining Ambedkar, and has also even gone as far ahead to say that the Congress is anti-Ambedkar. Important to understand that in the latest that we're tracking at this hour, there seems to be a war of words in which the BJP has accused the Congress of having an Ambedkar Virodhi mindset. Important information we're tracking at this hour, as the BJP has accused the Congress of Ambedkar Virodhi mindset on the Mahaparivaran Divas. On this, going back to my colleague Prashant. Prashant, walk us through the details. What exactly is this about? Like we were just talking about how, it is often that political leaders often rake up leaders of the past like, Ambedkar, Nehru, among others. There also seems to be nothing new here, as this is something that we've already heard before.
That's right. Like Nehru, Ambedkar is also one of the important historical characters of India, who has been under intense scrutiny and discussion for the last many years. But it is an established fact that, Bhimrao Ambedkar, who is considered as the architect of Indian Constitution, he was denied Bharat Ratna till a government, a non-Congress government under VP Singh came to power in 1989. Right. Apart from that, Modi government tried to build, memorials related to Bhimrao Ambedkar at 5 different places in India and also outside. So, like Nehru, as I told you, Ambedkar has also been one of the important historical characters whose contribution has been intensely debated. And today is his death anniversary, which is observed as Mahaparinirvan Divas. So BJP's allegation has come on this particular day. In a short while from now, you will see the President, Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they will all come to Parliament House and pay tribute to Bhimrao Ambedkar.
Right, absolutely, Prashant. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing those details with us. Meanwhile, we also have BJP's Mr. C.R. Kesavan joining us on the phone line. So I wish to understand from you, apart from Nehru, of course, Ambedkar has also been a long-standing point of contention. His legacy has been something that has been disputed by the BJP and the Congress. What makes you say that the Congress is anti-Ambedkar?
The words first today is Baba Ambedkar ji's Mahaparinirvan Divas. It's very important to recall how Prime Minister Modi ji has honoured the legacy of the great Ambedkar ji. In stark contrast to the Congress party's Ambedkar Virodhi, anti-Ambedkar mindset. This Prime Minister Modi ji, who coined the term punch seats, ensured that the 5 important places associated with Ambedkar ji's lives were developed as centers of pilgrimage. And even this includes one place in London where he studied, so the Janma Bhoomi, Shiksha Bhoomi, Diksha Bhoomi, Mahaparinirvan Bhoomi and Saitya Bhoomi, all were developed as places of pilgrimage by Modi ji. This was in sharp contrast to the Nehru's Congress. They did not even install Ambedkar ji's portrait in the center of Parliament. They unjustly denied Ambedkar ji back. And most importantly, Congress deliberately defeated Ambedkar ji in multiple Lok Sabha elections. There is a letter which I tweeted where Nehru writes to Edwina Mountbatten, who had long left India. In 1948, he writes in 1952 talking about Ambedkar ji being defeated by the Congress candidate in the 1952 Lok Sabha election. Nehru writes Ambedkar has been dropped out. The socialists combined with Ambedkar's party lost their repute to public, and Ambedkar has combined with Hindu communalists. Look at the venom of the Nehru Congress. It's a shocking letter, which is why, the 51 cartons of letters which have been taken back by the Nehru Gandhi family containing personal official correspondence of Nehru with Edwina Mountbatten and other leaders, it has to be made public. And also another letter, in 1946, where Nehru writes about Ambedkar ji, saying Ambedkar ji insulted the Congress and Congress leaders, and he wants Ambedkar ji to apologize. And Nehru accuses Ambedkar ji of allied with the British. See, we are saying that the Congress as Nehru, they are against Ambedkar ji and also against the principles and ideals of Ambedkar ji. Ambedkar ji spent his whole life struggling and sacrificing for the cause of the marginalized, deprived, disadvantaged sections. But what did the Nehru government do? No. The Nehru government rejected the Kaka Kalelkar Commission recommendations for providing reservations to backward class. Congress governments did not implement Mandal Commission. Rajiv Gandhi, as opposition leader, opposed Mandal Commission in Parliament. And Rahul Gandhi, abroad recently talked about scrapping reservations. So Congress party's Ambedkar Virodhi mindset, today we need to reinforce that, because today you see the drama of Rahul Gandhi and other Congress leaders trying to pay respect to Ambedkar ji, but the real fact is that the Congress Ambedkar Virodhi mindset remains a great threat to our constitution.
Right, absolutely, sir. I see the point that you're trying to make there. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us. Well, there seems to be a political war of words that has erupted clearly over, of course, B.R. Ambedkar's legacy. Important to understand that the BJP has slammed the Congress on the Mahaparinirvan Divas. Important to understand that the BJP has hit out at the Congress, calling the Congress, in fact, the Congress's mindset Ambedkar Virodhi. Important to understand that the BJP has said, and I quote, that from Nehru to Rahul, there is, in fact, a history of sidelining Ambedkar. The BJP has also called the Congress anti-Ambedkar. Apart from this, it's important to understand that there also has been some sort of a reaction from the Congress earlier. Remember that repeatedly in the Parliament as well, the Congress has slammed the BJP, saying that it is not anti-Ambedkar and that it respects the legacy of the leader. While with that, shifting tracks to other stories at this hour, now the gap between Shashi Tharoor and his party Congress seems to widen, this time over the invite to Russian President Putin's dinner at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Amid growing closeness with the Modi government, Shashi Tharoor's presence at the dinner was not a surprise. However, Congress leaders slammed Tharoor's acceptance of the invite when Congress leader and LOP Rahul Gandhi was not invited for the dinner. However, Shashi Tharoor, in an exclusive interview with NDTV's editor-in-chief Rahul Kanwal, said that it is a protocol to invite foreign panel members of the parliament when a foreign dignitary would visit India. Although he did admit that it was in fact discontinued after PM Modi took over, but it has been started again. He also added on to say that the opposition must find a common ground with the government. Remember that Rahul Gandhi had hit out at the government for not allowing the opposition members to meet foreign leaders and even went ahead to call the government insecure.
Lots of chatter also around just our presence here at Rashtrapati Bhavan. I saw a lot of the people were saying there's as much curiosity in your presence as there was in Vladimir Putin's.
No, but the fact remains, Rahul, that for many, many years it was standard practice for the chairman of the External Affairs Committee
to be invited to every Rashtrapati Bhavan banquet. I have come to several, particularly up to and including the days of President Pranab Mukherjee. But then there was a change in attitude, I will admit, and there was a disinvitation, as it were, for some years. I'm very glad they've restored the practice. I think it's a healthy practice.
You've come back after a while?
I've come back after a while. So for some years, I think that, they had a different attitude. This time, it seems that they have decided to open up a little more to other voices. And frankly, because the relationships with foreign countries are precisely what the Parliamentary Standing Committee deals with, it's helpful to have some insight into what goes on in the conversations, the atmosphere, and so on. So I'm very pleased to be here for that reason. Nothing more, nothing less.
And I agree with the point that you made, that your job is to, make the points of your constituents and not to constantly be in a harangue with the government. I think most sensible people watching this would agree with that.
Yeah, that's a different conversation. That has nothing to do with getting invited to Rashtrapati Bhavan, which may or may not happen otherwise. But the truth is that on the question of cooperating with the government of the day, you don't abandon your convictions or principles, but you find common ground. I mean, part of democracy and part of the cooperation between government and opposition in a democracy is about finding common ground. We disagree on some things, we agree on some things. And where we agree, we should work together.
And interestingly, when you say we don't abandon our convictions, it's suggesting that Dr. Tharoor is not abandoning the Congress party?
Listen, I mean, this is a silly question. I don't know why this has to be asked. I'm an MP of the Congress party. I went to great trouble to get elected. And it would take me, I think, considerable amount